Oh, you might like this one.
Yeah, okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Statistics show that most mortals sell their souls for 5 reasons. Sex, money, power, revenge and love. In that order.
Oh, right.
It's the first 2 sentences.
Yeah, I am quite interested by that, actually. It's you're pulled in straight away, aren't you?
You're intrigued?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Mm. Shall I read on, or are you just like, I'm committed now, I'm going to read?
Because which one would I do? Yeah. No, I'd still kind of assess it. I think as I went along. Yeah.
So you want more? I suppose I should have been reassured then that I was out here assisting with numero uno, but the whole situation just made me feel, ellipsis, well, sleazy. And coming from me, that was something.
Right. It's still got me. I think. Yeah, it's still got me. Do need a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly some sort of supernatural being, perhaps even like the devil themselves, if there's somebody selling their soul and they're doing for reason 1, so it's about
It
sex.
feels very modern, though, doesn't it? It does feel modern.
Yeah, it's definitely feeling more. First, straight away, as soon as I went to the first person narrator, you're like, this is trying to be.
Yeah.
It's very, in tone, it's very similar to Jim Butcher,
Right.
but it's not Jim Butcher. So the next paragraph is in italics. Maybe I just can't empathise anymore, I mused. It's been too long. When I was a virgin, people still believed swans could impregnate girls.
You know, it's... I'm starting to waver just a little bit.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm wavering quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, this does not seem like something I'm going to enjoy.
I am starting to waver. The start was quite good, but yeah, I'd probably still need a bit more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nearby, Hugh waited patiently for me to overcome my reticence. He stuffed his hands into his well-pressed car keys, leaning his large frame against his Lexus. I don't see what the big deal is. You do this all the time.
Go on.
You want more? You're quite into this then. This wasn't exactly true, but we both knew what he meant. Ignoring him, I instead made a great show of studying my surroundings. Not that that improved my mood. The suburbs always dragged me down. Do you want a little bit more? Because I've just finished that paragraph.
Yeah, go on, finish that. Yeah.
Identical houses, perfect lawns, far too many SUVs. Somewhere in the night, a dog refused to stop yapping.
Blimey. I think I might read more, you know.
More,
I do.
you say?
Yeah.
Because I would say that I'm out.
You're out.
Yeah,
you're out.
I'm out because it's reminding me of Susan Hill.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
Angel
yeah.
Fangs.
That's
it
right.
reminds me of that. It reminds me of Jim Butcher.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of too many things that I just didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Even Bella Forrest, it reminds me of that a little bit as well.
Yeah.
It's just like there's all of these. It's like PTSD for me, I'm afraid. I'm out.
Yeah.
Do you want a little bit more?
Go on, go on. Yeah, go
I
on.
don't do this because this is in italics. I said finally. Even I have standards. Hughes snorted, expressing his opinion of my standards. Okay, if it makes you feel better, don't think of this in terms of damnation. Think of it as a charity case.
Yeah. I'm probably slipping out as well, to be honest with you. I think. The start was quite interesting. I quite liked that, how that began, but the very start.
It intrigued you because you thought it was going to be about vampires. Or vampiric entities of any kind.
Probably, yeah.
Which it might well be because it's Succubus Blues by Rachel Mead.
I wouldn't even pick that up.
Yeah.
If you gave me that in a bookshop, I'd just throw it in.
I did not pick that thinking that it was going to be a literary classic. I'm surprised that you got as far into that as you did.
Yeah, that is genius.
I thought that looking at it, it looks like Bella Forest.
Looks like trash, doesn't it?
It reads like Bella Forest and Sandra Hill. That just, no.
Yeah, that was funny.
I'm done here.
I thought the first bit was okay.
Well, only because it didn't give you enough.
No, I suppose.
As soon as it started getting into the actual characters of it, you're like, this is just going to be awful.
And there's something, isn't there, about modern books, when they start having dialogue, it just suddenly runs into a brick wall, doesn't it? It's just the plausibility just seems to just poof, go.
Yeah.
Well, in that ilk, I mean, not good stuff, but that's
like
brilliant.
Hugh's not interested in her. She's not interested in him.
No,
I'm not interested in either of them.
What do you give it on the score? 10.
Well, I would say, like the Duchess got an extra point because I'm not into that genre, but it actually makes me want to read that.
Yeah.
Whereas I might even be into this genre,
but this
makes me not want to read it. So therefore, it loses a point.
Yeah.
Which means that it's probably like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah. I think I'd probably agree. Yeah.
I really don't want to read any more of this, even if I was like committed to reading it. I don't want to read any more of that. And I'm really surprised.
What's it called?
Succubus Blues. I'm surprised a little bit because I thought that this sort of thing from the cover would be like a trashy sex thing, like 50 Shades with vampires or something, or Succubus. Succubus even more so, really. So I'm surprised that it's as dull as that. I thought that it would start with like a proper romp. Yeah. Get right into the sex of it.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that's selling this.
Yeah, probably.
And also look at the size of it. So when I read The Pet Shop, which was like a sex book as well.
Oh yeah, you did a review.
That was like a third or a quarter of that size. It just got on with it. Yeah. And you're kind of like, well, this is what you're reading it for, I suppose.
It's another thing that makes you think about the publishing industry. You think, well, how does that even get published? Which agent has picked that up?
Yeah, it got published because it's like 50 Shades meets True Blood, isn't it?
Yeah.
And True Blood was like a big thing.
Yeah.
Charlene Harris, something like that.
Something that passed me by. But
and they're like, if I could sell vampire books and I could sell sex books, a vampire sex book is going to sell 10 times more. And then you get all this crap where it's just like Sandra Hill?
I think it was Old Sand, wasn't it? It was Old Sand, wasn't it?
Like Sandra, the Angel Wore Fangs. It's just like... I don't think it can be as bad as Sandra Hill. It just can't be. But
that was a bad one, wasn't it?
It was a shocker.
Oh my goodness me.
But it's very similar in tone and style. I'm getting like all the same vibes. It's like horrible. Yeah. I might not be able to sleep tonight. Right.
You take that to bed with you.
So what did you score it?
I think I probably would have gone for about 3, really, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I think you're being quite generous.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dire. Okay, so at the very start of this video, I promised you that I would show you how you can spot a bad writer from just a single paragraph, and I'm going to put the paragraph on screen. But if you want to see me ranting about this a fair bit, then I would point you in the direction of my review of Full Moon by Jim Butcher, which I'll link in the comments. But basically, it's about being a writer and knowing that what you write has consequences that you need to be thinking about when you are writing them and about what you've written as you move forward in the story. And what you can see here is somebody who's determined to write. They've read books and they thought, right, I can see what other people are doing. I can do that. She says something along the lines of that Hugh was waiting patiently for her. In the very same paragraph, the last 2 sentences or so clearly demonstrate that Hugh is in fact impatient. There's an easy way of fixing this. You could just say Hugh was waiting impatiently. But because this writer hasn't thought about the consequences of what they're writing, they just think, right, what is Hugh doing at this moment? I have to describe that. And in actual fact, you don't have to describe that at all if it's not relevant to the point that you're making. So you can just leave it out. But she doesn't sort of appreciate the craft of the writing. What's Hugh doing? I've got to tell my reader. She could just say he was leaning against the Lexus. You could say, if you could say he was pacing up and down beside it, would show he was impatient. You could just say he was waiting impatiently. You could just leave it out entirely. And we can tell from his dialogue that he's impatient. But what you have is, right at the start of the paragraph, something contradicting the very end of the same paragraph with nothing in between to make that change in behaviour explained or acceptable to a reader. So there you go. That's how you can do it. Look for the writer, what they're writing. Do they consider the consequences of it? And like I say, my Jim Butcher review is very long. It's got quite a lot of ranting in it, and quite a lot of it is because the Butcher throughout basically writes without considering the consequences. You can tell from the like-dislike ratio on that video just how popular my opinion of it is. anyway, that was just on that thing. And on another point I wanted to make was that this series has been about the first impressions of a book. The first line might give you, and I have to say that normally I would argue against the value of the first line, but the fact that Scott here says that he would never even have picked up this book, and if I'd given it to him, he would have thrown it across the bookshop. But then he was actually quite into it on the basis of the first line. You can say, oh, it disproves the rule, or you can say it was an exception to the rule, but you can also see that because by the end of the page, we're actually just laughing at how bad this book is, that you can very, very quickly lose that as well. So it isn't that important, but you can also see that it's quite useful if you get it right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.